Come on then. Where are we going to put this? Where did we put it last time? Do you remember? Without it falling over. Are we there now? It's going to fall over, isn't it? Is that the right spot? Come on then. Come on then. What you doing? Waiting for a fuss? Thanks. Thanks. What you doing? You want a fuss today, dear? Full of fuss today, aren't you? What you doing? Hey? Concentrate. What? Come on then, concentrate. Are you breathing? You're concentrating. You're such a baby, aren't you? You're such a woolly bear. You need so much loving and fussing, don't you? Oh yeah. Is that good? Is that good? How good that? Hey? Good boy. You shouldn't, because it doesn't help. I know you like it. It doesn't do your ears any good. Let's have a look at them. They're dry, that's one good thing, and they're fairly clean. Because sometimes they can get very filthy, can't they? And they can get squelchy. Listen. Listen. There's no squelch in them, is there? You're not wet. Usually you've got... So they're pretty good and they're pretty warm, because these can get really warm, can't they? Yeah. Full of fuss today, aren't you? You good boy. Hey, you good boy. Is that you? Say hello to your fans, look. Say hello to your fans. Right, here we go then. So, well, you know my plan, don't you? You know what I want to do. Well, anyway, I found a longer shaft. It'll give me more time. That's a bit rattly aroundy, so I'm in the process of cutting the ring off, and that'll fit better in there. Well, anyway, I've got two questions. First of all, do you like them when I do 20 minutes and add them all together, a longer film, or do you want short ones, each step? But anyway, today's mission is I am going to argue and explain to you why I think a welder, a grinder and a flamethrower is the best creative thing you can do whilst leaving your clothes on. The most satisfying creative thing you can do whilst keeping your clothes on. Yeah, so I'll argue for welding and bashing and grinding, and I'll explain why. There's only metal and wood, isn't there? So why metal is better than wood. They make some beautiful things out of wood, but we'll carry on. Let me first of all give you begin to make films all together, so that I think having a welder and maybe a vise and having a flamethrower and a grindette, little yellow grindette thing, is the best creative fun you can have with your clothes on. Come on, let's go on the journey, shall we? So let's have a recap on the mission that I'm trying to achieve. Can you see? I want my weather vane to fit on top of that post. Now, I don't really want to be going up there with spanners and doing and undoing and whatever. I want to be up there for as short a period of time as possible, because this is just, it's not buried in the ground. This is just a scaffolding post that I put up there to hold the cameras up. It's sort of okay, but by the time you get on the top of that post, that's a long way up, or more like it's a long way down to fall. Yeah, so I want to get up there, put the damn thing in the hole and forget it. So that's the mission. Okay, and yes, it's welded here, and it's welded here, and it's welded there. But you got to remember, it's a Reggie welding. Would I risk a life on that? No way. And it's been painted over to hide the sins. So I don't really want to be up there using it as a support, and all of a sudden, crack, bang, wallop, you're on the floor. So, so that's what my, that's what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I want the weather vane up there, and I want to get up there as quickly as possible and just basically slot. I don't want to be undoing that joint. I just want to get up there, shove that in the hole and forget about it. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So let's get the same size scaffolding post. So this is what we're working with. This is what we're working with. And we've got to make this weather vane curl along and just slot in there. So anyway, we've cut the washer off there. We found a longer bolt. Ooh, let's bring it back out. We found a longer bolt, so long is good. Did you know, look, that's what there, when you cut that that washer, what did I do with the washer? Yeah, when you cut that washer off, it's well, isn't it? That washer's well stuck, isn't it? In there. But anyway, the reason I've chosen this, I had a nut, and the nut I was using was going to be this one, but there's, you know, wriggle room. So this is a much tighter nut to fit in. Actually, I might even grind some off, but that's going to be a much better fit to go down the shaft. So that will be now welded on the bottom there, and this one's going to be up here, because it seems to just be just the right size, just the right position to be able to just look. Pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good. So put a long tail on that. That means this piece of shaft, whatever piece I decide to use, will just sit on there. And it won't be crooked. Do you know, my biggest fear is I do something and it ends up on the top of that post like that. It's not going to look good, is it? So I'm working on it. Shut up! All right, brought the brain fluid, brain power.
There's plenty of sugar in it for you.
All right, okay.
Make sure you use a level.
Piss-taking cow. Yeah. Anyway, come on, let's prove her wrong. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's prove her wrong. So that doesn't quite fit in there. So all we've got to do is grind the inside of that edge up so it touches nice and tidy. And here are the babies. There's another one here. Did he come to the edge? He was on his way.
Yeah, this one's right on the...
Oh yeah, this one's over here. Look at this. See, this is the... I see that one sideways, look. There was one lost. One got lost. One, I believe, it got locked out of the shed. Do you see up there? Yeah, something went wrong. She was separated from her mother when she was born. But look, there's the other one. There's two of them. Yeah. They're coming on well, aren't they?
They're looking good.
They're a good few weeks old though, aren't they?
Must be now, mustn't they?
Yeah, they must be 3 or 4 weeks old. Has she come to you? Oh, let's not surprise her. She get well handled. Always having a drink. Oh yeah. Look. Oh yeah, it's got to be a few weeks now, Steve, isn't it? It'll be a few weeks ago when we saw the first one. I mean, I like the colouring, you know.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Hello.
Debbie spotted us.
Little babies. Oh.
Are you going to share your broccoli?
Put my jacket.
You're going to share? We'll show you. Oh, over there, look.
They're both like,
No?
yeah, they're both like those. The other one's up there.
Yeah, it's a bit boggy up there, though. It is a bit boggy up there. They live up there in the shed, look. Hmm.
Oh, you sort of put it in there.
Yeah, look. She's like one of them supermodels with them big eyes.
Beautiful that one. I like the brown one.
Yeah.
Look up then. And look up.
Oh.
I'd still rather my sort of horsepower, but they, you know, aren't they lovely? Isn't life amazing?
Oh, yeah. I love her.
You know, life is amazing. So we're going to weld this onto there. Obviously, you've got to wear your bondage gear. I mean, your safety gear. Always wear your safety gear. You must have eye protection against the arc of the weld. You must always, better to have a face shield, and always wear your gloves because you don't want a nasty burn. But and you don't need no expensive fancy welder. Just get some off the local place, 30, 40 quid, probably 40 quid now. Just something that'll do. Plug it in. Don't be afraid of welding. It's so easy to do, and at our level, it's not a life-saving welding grip, is it? Just as long as it sticks together, that's all you want it to do. So I am about to have the most, how do I say it now? The most creative enjoyment you can have using steel and a welder and a grinder whilst keeping your clothes on. I'll argue that point now. Come on, let's crack on and get it done. So I've tacked that end on, look. That will now fit inside the tube. I've tacked that end on up underneath, and I've tacked this on here underneath. As long as it sticks, that's all that matters. So this will go down inside the tube, and this will be the top, but I've got a slight problem. I decided not to use a long bar. I'm going to use a short bar, but we've got a slight problem. That's not square. When I say it's not square, it's nowhere near square. So I'm going to mess with the grinder and just keep going round and try and get that as square as I can get it. Let's see how we get on. So just bit by bit by bit, keep persevering. We've got the end of that tube straight. So now what we're going to do is we've just tacked that on for now. Do you remember we cleaned the top of that so that it fitted in? So the next job is to weld this onto there now. So that's the next job, weld all around the edge or tack it a few places, so that we can so then we can carry on. Yeah, so let's just weld that in place now. So here we are, look. So here we are. We know what we're working with. We're basically working with the end of a tube up there. So we basically got to throw this in the end of the tube and make it land. And that's going to be just fine for what we want. So getting to the point of this is the most creative fun. A welder and some scrap and an idea is the most creative fun you can have whilst you're keeping your clothes on. Yeah. And wood is okay, but you have to joint it properly, and you can make wood look really pretty. really, really pretty, but you have to be skilled and patient and know what to do. Whereas what I'm saying is, get yourself a cheap welder, get yourself a pair of gloves and a mask and a couple of welding rods, which is as cheap as chips. Scrap you pick up, the stuff you get out of skips, the metal you get yourself a little collection of stuff as you go along, cut-offs and whatever. Use your grindette, that's all you need, is a grindette, which most of us have probably got anyway. And you can basically make whatever your mind is thinking about. Whatever the hell you want to make, you can just make, can't you? And you get so much satisfaction out of thinking about something and figuring it out. And so the weld isn't the best of weld. As long as it sticks together, it don't matter. And if it doesn't work, you can always cut it up and start again. Now, you can't always do that. You make a mistake on a wood job and you're 3/4 of the way through it, it's back to square one. So I wanted to put something on top of the tube, didn't I? And then I wanted to keep it straight, so I made that fit. So now hopefully we'll all have to do is do that, and it will instantly go on top of that, on top of the cameras, on top of there. Yeah. So it is having a problem, thinking of a solution, creating a solution that you have decided that I'm going to do it this way. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, you start again, don't you? But I'd like to argue the point that getting a welder, getting a grinder, getting a pair of gloves, a face mask, obviously you've got to keep your safety gear on, and maybe a vice is the best creative enjoyment you can have whilst keeping your clothes on. What do you think? I'm going to just clean this up now a bit and make it look nice and give that a lick of paint, and you wouldn't know that there's such a cowboy done such a job. So I am very, very pleased. We're on the top of a wobbly step. As long as you can get that in the hole, you're away. It's going to knock it, you're away. It's going to do what it's got to do. So welding and using scraps of metal is the most fun you can have, most creative fun you can have whilst keeping your clothes on. So the thing is, here we are, live and at the scene. You don't have to be a really good welder. All you have to do is make sure the damn stuff sticks together. That's all you have to do. So you bring it to the Reggie's testing department, and all you have to do is test it. Clobber it and test it. And if after a test it still sticks together, it still sticks together. That's all you needed to do. That's all you wanted to do. So as long as it can pass a test, pass a Reggie test, that's all you have to do. It doesn't happen. Doesn't matter what it looks like. I mean, it does. It'd be self-satisfaction to be able to weld properly, but it doesn't stop you from doing the job, does it? All you have to do is make sure the damn thing will stick together. Give it a test. If it passes the test, your welding worked. And then you can improve from there onwards. You can watch the internet. You can, maybe if you really get the bug, take a welding course. I would really like to have the time to do a welding course. I'd love somebody to teach me to do this properly. But I've always been a butcher. And I'm sure a professional would have just tacked there and tacked here and tacked there and done exactly the same job. But what I tend to do is weld everything, and then some of it's got to be sticking somewhere, and then you give it a Reggie test, and as long as it passes its test, everything's fine. So let's take this as an example. It's ugly. It don't look very good. It's done the job, which is all you wanted to do, is stick. But if you wanted to beautify that, if that was your wood job, you'd make it struggle to make it look pretty and nice, wouldn't you? So what we're going to do is we're going to weld loads of it again now on top of it, and then grind it nice and smooth, and then make it look as if a professional did it, shall we? Did it the first time. So I didn't do it the first time. It might take me 3 or 4 goes to get this correct. But that's what you can do with a welder. That's the thing with welding and steel. You can do whatever the hell you want, and you're not really stuck, because all you do is grind it away, cut it away, and start again. So we've welded the bejesus out of it. We've filled it full of gunge, and the good thing is when you're handling steel is you can just grind it all away, overbuild it. I've even come over the edge deliberately to make that look really sort of horrible. So let's plunge that in a bucket, cool it down, and grind it up, and let's see what it looks like. By the way, never do it on the same bench that I do, because there's oil and filth and sawdust. Everything tries to catch fire. I've had a few fires, but I'm pretty used to spotting the smoke. A little spark going to that sawdust, the whole place goes up. I mean, first of all, it's a steel bench, so that sort of helps. But yeah, always work in a much cleaner area than I do, and don't have fuel in the floor. My biggest worry is if a fire starts here, this mat is covered in fuel from a good few other projects. So, but I'm pretty good. I keep an eye on everything. So we've cleaned the top off. We can see we've got a few holes, haven't we? So let's just fill those holes in with weld. Ding ding, round 2. The holes are getting smaller. So you see, there's nothing that can't be re-welded, re-ground. You can make the thing look fantastic with welding. If you want to spend all that time cleaning and grinding and making things look lovely, you can make it. You can be as rough or as nice as you want. There's a couple of holes want filling. I couldn't be arsed. But it just shows you, look, you can just want a bit more welding in them holes and grinding off, that's all. Because I'm about to go and get my lunch. But if that was a mistake in wood, if that was a problem in your wood, you'd struggle to correct it. You know, you'd have to know certain techniques to correct something if you'd done it with wood, whereas with steel you just smash it apart, weld it back together, clean it, grind it until it's where you want it to be. Yeah. So that's why I like, you can be as careful as you want, or as not so much careful as you want with welding, and you can make whatever your mind can imagine you can make. Yeah. There's a rattle in there somewhere. What the? Yeah. What's rattling? Something's rattling in there, you know. I don't know what it is. Anyway, we'll see. We'll fix it. Look at this. Oh, look at this bit of chicken and roasties. Look at this broccoli from the garden. Oh, fantastic. And what were these, Deb? These were actual broccoli leaves, wasn't it? Yeah. These are the leaves from the broccoli plant. Yeah. And what were these beans, Deb?
Runner beans.
Runner beans from the garden. Oh, fantastic. Lovely. Oh, what and of course roasties on a Sunday. It's the law. And chicken. Thank you very much, Deb. That greenhouse is coming on really well, isn't it? Thank you. Well then, we've seen. Did we see? Yeah. We've seen Little Twat, right? Button don't work on him. No. It's meant to talk, but he don't work. But anyway, he's the original. He's the original mascot. We've seen Mr. Poop here, haven't we? So we've seen Mr. Poopy, but we do have a competitor. Or would you like to see the hand? Would you rather see the hand and see what it does? Would you like to see the hand? What's your favourite? The hand, Mr. Poopy, or Little Twat? So we've created what we want. We've created what we want. That's going to do the trick just nice. But I won't show you all of it, but I'm just going to weld up everything now. What I like to do is weld up everything, clean up everything, and I shall come back to you. I won't show you every little bit. I'll just show you it when I've done it. By the way, I found the rattle. Remember, this is a nut, and this has got a washer that goes on it. Look, watch. Watch this space here. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this space here. There, this space. Watch it rattle around. See it? So we're not only got to weld this here, but we've got to weld that there as well, and then grind it all smooth. At least we found the rattle anyway. Stay still. We found the rattle. Yeah, we found the rattle. So because we've now got it where we want it, we've done what we want to do, and we're just doing the final touches, we can hold it in the vise at whatever angle we want to get the welding where we want to get it properly. We've tacked it together. Now we're going around cleaning and making it look nice. And by the way, this the welder is connected to the bench, because the bench, it's a steel bench which is connected, so the vise is earthed, so you don't have to mess about clipping and unclipping. All you have to do is jam it in the vise, and the ice, because the vise is earthed via the bench, you don't have to keep clipping and unclipping the damn earth lead, which sometimes can be a nuisance. Can you see? You can turn what is an ugly duckling into a beautiful swan if you want to. That's the beauty of creating with a welder and with a grinder and a bit of scrap and an idea. So I was thinking, oh damn, I should have left a gap there for the water to come out of, because the water's going to collect. This is going to be in the tube. The water's going to collect up there, isn't it? So anyway, that's no problem. We can get around that. So what we'll do is we'll use one of them nuts. We've got plenty of them. We know that sits in there nicely. We'll weld that on, and we'll throw a bolt in there. We'll weld that in and around, and then we'll grind it and clean it, and we'll put a cap on the damn thing. Yeah. So that'll be just fine. So we're going to cap off the end. So we'll make that nice and pretty looking now. And you know, I've cleaned it up. So it'll just help the paint stick better, make it more durable. And then we'll stick the weather vane. The last job is to put the weather vane on it. Lovely jubbly, lovely jubbly. How do you turn an ugly duckling into a beautiful swan? So, we did quite a nice job there, but we completely missed the damn edge there, didn't we? So what we're going to do is we'll go and redo that again. It's because I was distracted, because the galvanizing, I decided to put an eye on the top of it, make it look pretty. The galvanizing on this hook on the top was spraying everywhere. You're not supposed to weld on galvanized metal, but it's okay as long once you've got it hot and you can burn through it, it's all right. But when you first begin, Oh, it splatters everywhere. You don't like it. So let's go and see if we can do a tidier job of that and try and make it look like that as one. Yeah. Well, you know, it's looking prettier and prettier, isn't it? So here we are. We've got what we want. We've made the top look pretty. We've made it waterproof. So that's going to sit in there. Okay. So the next thing is to get this to go onto there. Well, you know, I could redo it, weld it, take that hinge off, blah blah blah, couldn't I? But what I'm thinking of is, remember that gauge we got, angle iron we got the other day, stuffed it in the car from Stephen's place. It's quite a thick gauge. That'll take a welding, won't it? So we can, I've cut it to length. I haven't got two hands, but if I put one of them either side there, like that, one either side, voila, just tack them in place and then weld them a bit more maybe later. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the angle iron to give this a flat front, and then we're going to weld this to there. Can you see? No, you can't see. We're going to put two of these either side to give it a flat face, and then we're going to weld this to there, and we're going to retain this bit. Yeah, so let's try that then. So all we have to do now is get a bit of a tack here, a bit of a tack there. As long as it sticks that little bit, we've got a surface to work on, and clamp. This is clamped here, then we take the clamp off and just tack and weld everything. So we've put a tack on the top, tack on the bottom, tack in the middle, and we've done the same here. Look, tapped it whilst we had the opportunity to clamp it. So shall we unclamp it and see what happens? Yeah, looking good, looking good. Tack the corners down there. We've now got a fairly straight face to put that other on now, haven't we? I'm glad we picked that up the other day from Stephen's. Done the trick just nicely. So here we are, look. Yeah, here we are. Clamped that on there. Let's undo the clamp. Tacked it. It's all tacked now and in the right place, so we can go now and finish welding, securing these bottom corners, weld along there, maybe do the top, and then we're ready for a test run. Well, sort of, as far as we're going to go, because then it goes to the painting department, the Debbie department. So let's that's good and secure. Let's just finish this off now, and then we'll give it a test run. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our goal. Our goal is to get a weather vane up there. So we'll simulate that that pipe sticking up, as in this one here. And I would like to present to you, let me put my glove on because I think it's still warm. I would like to present to you the most fun, the most inventive fun that you can have whilst keeping your clothes on. Now I'll drop that in the top of there. That goes in there, and here we are. Okay, it's got to go through the paint department yet. So that's got to be painted and put in place. That's Debbie's job. This is the weathercock. Tell us which way the wind is blowing. This will be fixed. We've remember, we wanted to find a way of just slotting that in the top. So that's not going to move at the bottom. So the pipe itself will keep itself straight. We've had that slotting in here. There has been a question, is it going to move around? What are we going to do with that? I suggest the weight itself won't blow it around. No, I think that's what's going to move when the wind blows. and this over time will rust into place, because we've only got one chance. We've got one chance to slot it in there, and that's it. That's all you want to do. Yeah. So we'll see. But this is quite heavy. I decided to put an eye on the top. That's how I fixed. How do you make a flat on a round? A couple of ankle irons. So yeah, I would like to present to you, stay still you little bugger. There we are. I'd like to present to you the most creative fun you can have whilst keeping your clothes on. Yeah, by just getting a grinder, a welder, a wrench, and that's it. And also bits of scrap what you pick up, because ultimately that's cost me nothing really. I had the scaffolding pipe from something else. We didn't want to make it too long. We kept it short. And obviously we've got the stores and nuts and bolts. So, yeah, you see, that would be so difficult, or to make that in wood, with the lack of skills that I've got, that wouldn't work. But making it out of metal and a welder and a grinder, you can make it with my skills. Well, my lack of skills. So there we are. That's as good as it gets for today. Wanting something done, thinking of a solution, making the solution come to life, and then putting it into practice. But yet it's got to be painted yet, hasn't it? That's Debbie's department. We'll paint it.